Welcome to Ydcast, everybody. It's season 9, week 7. I'm Gio,
I'm evil.
And I'm Malachi.
and let's get done with the rundown of what happened in week seven's matches. In match 1, we had a divisional Majins versus Namekians, in which the Majins won, uh, pretty strongly actually. Then we had match 2, Derp versus Androids. Derp took another win.
No,
Match
hey,
3,
no. Androids won.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, my
I did
mistake.
one.
I don't know why I read that backwards. My fault. I guess I just don't like the androids.
Well, screw you
Some
too.
kind. Match 3, Val's vs Dragon Ball Warriors. Valkyries won with a hilarious
One.
tag in.
They destroyed.
We'll get to that maybe. Match 4, Muscle vs Cold. Cold won in a somewhat similar fashion as Val's. Match 5, Afterlife vs ED. Afterlife took the first win against ED. Congratulations. Match 6, Saiyans vs Blades. Blades won. Match 7, Rugrats vs Gohans. Rugrats won with Gotenks.
Mhm.
And match 8, Booze vs Ginyu, in which Booze took another win, and unfortunately Ginyu went back to losing.
Look. After this week, they can go ahead and start racking up the wins, but they need to get that one more loss. One more loss.
Just one more. No. They need to lose against us too. We're up next. All right. Since it's halfway through the season, let's do a bit of a recap on 3 teams that have had either bumpy rides or surprising rides. Which one do you guys want to talk about first?
Let's just go in order that we have them. So starting with Afterlife.
Who have been surprisingly good with a record of 5-2 after
Mhm.
this week, and being the first team to knock down the Earth Defenders with an elite performance from their Vegeta.
Indeed.
And now they have 2 elite players.
Yeah. I think they're the only team that does have 2 elite players right now.
You are correct. Actually, the only team other than Earth Defenders with an elite player at all. So
Which is also a Vegeta.
yes, that second elite on their team is Pycon, who before this week was arguably their best character. But now, after Vegito just went elite, they're basically at the same stats.
Basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good to see Afterlife doing so good after they struggled so hard last season. Um, and a lot of it, I think, just comes down to switching out N Vegeta, N Goku, and N Vegeta. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I think N Goku is still a pretty good character on the whole, but I mean, there's just no question that N Vegeta is just working so much better for them.
Oh yeah. I mean, he just went elite against the best team in the league.
Yep.
Yeah, that's I think you'd be pretty happy with that performance. Got you a win against them. Their stats tell a bit of a weird story, but I don't think it's perfectly accurate. Um, Aside from their 2 elite characters averaging 54k, the rest of their characters are under 40k. And well, Chaozu's at 37k, and I actually argue that he's a little bit better than that. Not a
Yeah.
whole bunch, but I think it's better than I think he's a 40k character.
Yeah, and I think we're still, just kind of glancing over everything. I think the only one where that's probably warranted to be under 40k is maybe with Zarbon. Um,
Man hasn't been the best either.
yeah,
Maybe not 30k, but he hasn't been the
yeah, I
best.
think a lot of that just comes from this last week where N Vegeta just took so much damage. It just naturally lowered everyone else's stats, and so there is a little bit of um,
I will go stat hunting.
yeah. There's just a little bit of salt you need to take with that.
Um, okay, so when it comes to Saiyaman, um, he actually hasn't broken 40k.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
he's not 30k. Before week 7. Actually, yeah, he was because he wasn't even in that match. He was 30k. Oh, my mistake. Yeah, this is
Hmm.
his ranking. He's a 30k fighter.
Yeah,
Wow.
which is I just don't know what to think about that in particular. That surprises me.
Um,
Um,
yeah, I thought he'd be better with the new difficulty.
I,
Hmm.
I would think so too. I think some of that might be just the rest of the team picking up enough slack to where there's not much left for him. On the
No,
other
no. There's
hand,
been a
I
lot of
think
fights
there's
where
been
he just doesn't do too much,
yeah,
and
I was
the team
getting to that. I think
battles.
there's been several fights where just I don't know if it's the AI or the build, and he's just I'm not entirely sure what's going on there.
Hmm.
Yeah. I Here's the thing. I think he should be much better. I think Jiaozu should be their weak link, all things considered. I think
Yes.
Jiaozu should definitely be their weak link here, just because he's doing great, and I love that they've got him working on this defense build. But it's clear that he's not going to average 50K. He's just not that strong naturally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Zarbon just seems a little inconsistent, is all. Yeah, oh my god, his stats have been fluctuating.
Hmm.
But yeah, he hasn't had the hottest season either. Pycon and Vegeta are definitely picking up the slack.
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah,
especially those last two matches.
yeah. They they've gotten 2 wins off their elites, so that's a pretty nice core set of. I don't think they're ever going to drop NVG now. That's
No,
pretty
no.
nice.
Probably not.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice core members to have there.
Yeah. I think that this is probably the afterlife we're gonna see from here on out. We might see some, maybe if someone that's better than Chaozu gets freed up for afterlife. Um,
I mean, they always have Nappa.
yeah. Well, I mean, they've got Nappa now.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They'd always put a Nappa now.
I mean, it would be interesting to see if Nappa can at least do 30K to replace
Um,
Zarbon or Saiyaman.
no, I didn't pay any attention to his last season.
Nappa is a B tour to fill in that role.
Oh,
Interesting.
well, man, let's look at season 6 here. I have no idea if that translates.
Yeah.
He was tour that season, and he averaged like 35K, so maybe,
Hey,
I don't know.
I mean, at 35K then. I mean, maybe he can do 35K now. That's
Yeah, it's a big gap of seasons. What I will say, though, is I'm worried for them during the playoffs, because if Sayman and Zarbon don't pick up the pace, they're going to hold them back. Because
Mhm.
currently, they've had, they've only had to usually worry about only one of them at a time
correct.
instead of both.
Yeah, I mean that is a worry going forward. I'm a little less worried about Zarbon than Saiyaman at the moment, which sounds strange to my ears.
Mhm.
But I'm not quite sure what the appropriate response to Saiyaman's issues is.
He's
Maybe
not connecting with enough B2s, and he's all about B2 damage.
well, he's not
Maybe.
even throwing them out. I mean, looking at the
Yeah,
stats,
he's not.
he's thrown out the least B2s on his team.
Wow,
Um,
he's both of B2s. So if he's not doing B2s, he's not doing damage. So
and so maybe he just needs an AI switch.
it might be time.
Let me pull up their builds for this week real quick because I remember they put Saiyaman as a starter, which surprised me. I don't remember if they switched up his AI or anything.
It's the divisional, so I'm not sure if they would be that risky, and if they're going to be that risky to start Saiyaman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I'll say right now is the 2 losses they've had have been where Pycon is benched.
Yep.
Doesn't
Which
really
I mean,
surprise
if they
me.
go 12-3, that's still a good record. 'Cause-
Now that's an amazing record.
exactly.
If that one character can be enough of a push to get you the wins, if your team's close enough that your top character pushes you to insta wins.
I mean, you're going to have a great season. Now, playoffs, I mean, you're probably going to drop out round 1, but
Yeah, I mean, I tend to think that a lot of their, Pycon and Vegeta, that combination of just having those 2 top tier characters is more than enough to hold them. But, if you can't get Zarbon and Saiyaman to pick up, um, that slack, then yeah, you're going to run into issues at week
Well,
one.
I when it comes to Vegeta, I don't think he's anywhere near Pycon's level, regardless of the stats. I think that elites, um, yes, it happened. It felt a little unnatural. I don't know why. I just don't feel like it's something
No,
he's
it felt
going to.
more like Earth Defenders derped that rather than and Vegeta was doing that good. I mean,
Yeah,
we
so
saw Krillin do basically next to nothing. The same with Yamcha and Tien, I think were the other two in that week. I mean, I
Yeah,
was
they didn't have
joking
Goku.
around that the theme of that match was only Vegetas are competent. Because if you look at that match, the only people to do damage were N Vegeta and Mid Vegeta.
yeah,
Zarbon did like 15k, Chaozu did like 15k. Pycon cleaned up. Pycon took care of business, but he only had to do 10k.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, it was, you know,
I think Vegeta's a good character. I don't think he's like a top 10 fighter
yeah,
yet.
And we had
Yeah.
both of those on the same team.
yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah, to speak to Sandman's AI, he's been on Piccolo AI, which as a even as a B2 nuker,
I don't know, Chaozu, Yajirobe, Tien. Try one of those.
yeah,
I mean, Piccolo eyes worked for other characters. I don't think yeah, I agree with you. Nuker build not in the cards for it. That being said, we should move on to the next team, so we don't run out of time here, which is the Namekians, who have had an unusually tough season.
Yep.
I believe they are 2-5, which they are.
Yeah,
And
that record should sound familiar to you, Gion.
no.
It doesn't
What you
sound.
talking about?
It doesn't sound familiar to me anymore.
So, but yeah,
Like,
I mean, I don't.
look, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I-
Namex just had a tough season. I think some of this is they have gone up against some tough teams.
Mhm.
Um, just kind of looking at their schedule, but I mean, another big part of this is Slug. I
Yeah.
mean,
Slug is not as good as he was last season. Not as good as
Yeah,
they
he's
probably
pulling a
thought he would be.
Bojack.
While Nail is kind of showing off on the Saiyans.
Here's the thing though. They're like the exact same team. Well, obviously not, but in terms of when I look at their stats and I see them play and remember it, they feel like the exact same team they were last season. This
They
team
really
that
do.
has
Yeah.
that has no overpowering, strong leader character, but everyone's like pulling their weight perfectly. And the
mhm,
only difference is Slug isn't.
right. I think you're right. That I mean, I think it's at the point where they really need to bring early Piccolo in for Slug. Because even if you just stick Slug's defense build on early Piccolo, if early Piccolo continues the type of stuff we were seeing last season, where just being competent, I feel like even on a defense build which is not optimized for him would be better than Slug.
But Slug's not on a defense build anymore.
He is not.
Mm-mm.
Let's see.
Look
on-
at he's on a B2 build.
Look, this is his first week 8. He'll
Yeah,
be
he's
on.
trying it out. Week 8,
Yeah.
new build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
I don't know how to feel about that because he doesn't have the greatest B2s.
It's what it's an I beam and a
Finger beam.
Finger beam,
finger beam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the best connection, right?
I
Uh,
guess.
I don't know
Um,
how I feel about that, but
I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm good.
They really didn't have too much of a dedicated B2er as of late. It's mainly just been attack and defense. So.
I mean, my thing is if you're gonna turn Slug into a B2 or just bring in early Piccolo.
yeah.
I mean, there's no reason to have early Piccolo because so week 8 he's on Key +1, Kibito's Secret Art launches Indignation and Fighting Spirit. That
Actually, hold your horses for a second. Slug hasn't fought in most weeks.
What?
There's-
Does he already have his 3 sets?
No. There's been a couple matches where they've won with 3 people only.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, week 2 and week 3 that happened, and I think he has 2 sits. I'll
yeah,
check
so that puts him at 3 matches where he's been in.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's I'm gonna let them be,
Fair enough.
because you've only had 3 matches. He's done good in one of them, in his first match.
So we're just gonna see
Man,
how he
yeah,
does this week with his new B2 build.
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
I don't know what to think about this. He wasn't doing good week 6, but he wasn't in week 7, and he wasn't in week 5. Yeah, it's weird.
mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about
I
him
mean, I
right now.
know. I remember against our team, he completely week 6. He completely dropped the ball against 16, and just let 16 beat up on him.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. That's what's pulling his average damage so far down. That 16k week.
yeah,
Um. So yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know what to think. I think they've had a couple close matches also, and also a
Mhm.
couple not close matches. But
yeah. The last few matches have not been close. Like I think against Muscle, they were down at least a. Didn't they lose? I believe they lost against Muscle. I recall that being by a fairly significant margin, maybe down a person.
Yeah, I think it was down in person. I think was it like Sin just came out and cleaned up, and that's it.
Possibly.
Yeah,
Um,
it's been a while since that match, but
yeah,
um,
Baby was a little bit on and off at the beginning. Seems like he's better now, so that's
Yeah.
good. Tamborine's still just Tambourine, the same melee Eternal Life build that he's always on, so everybody got to kind of work around him. Does he have a new AI this week? He does have a new AI this week.
yeah, that's interesting. We'll see
Okay.
if it works.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they just need to make someone into a monster. Clearly,
Yeah, if they
that's
could
not
just get
easy,
one
but-
monster,
Yeah.
they might be
Yeah,
okay. The
yeah,
rest of the
'cause
team
it's-
looks like they can carry their weight.
Yeah, because what seems to be happening from my perspective is they're fighting good matches, but when someone doesn't pull their weight, they have no one to pull it back.
Right.
Yeah.
I think their best bet is probably with late Piccolo on that, and they've been switching around his build a lot,
Mhm.
because they've been going back and forth between him on a defense build and on a super build, and I tend to think if anyone's gonna fill that, you've really got to worry about him being a monster role. It's gonna be late Piccolo. I just don't see King Piccolo doing it. Tambourine maybe. I mean it's been a
I
long.
think it'll be hard for him.
Yeah, I think it would be hard for him. So
He's doing the best that he could possibly do at this point.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I like the build they gave him this week, a super plus one. They're basically going to what he was last season.
right.
I think that's I think that's a build that if the AI works as expected, he'll do more than enough damage to make up for
Yep.
a small failing. So, that being said, we should move on to the last team. Someone else start this up, please.
We're going to talk about Geom's favorite team, the Saiyans. They are currently standing at 2-5, which has been a big surprise for a lot of people, considering that they had quite this. I believe they were 10-5 last season.
Yes.
New difficulty is harsh.
I mean, we could still go 10-5 technically.
You could.
You could. I mean,
I doubt it, but you
Win
could
streak.
do it.
Eight
I'm
game
very
win
impressed.
streak. I don't know. It would be.
Just some short straws, specifically one short straw that got removed, and hopefully the team will bounce back.
He
At
was
least
the
King
lowest
Vegeta did pretty well his first week.
50k. All I'll say is Raditz was the lowest damaging active character the entire time he was in.
Yep.
There was no one below him every week. So that was very, very painful, considering he was for 2 seasons straight a 45k fighter, our best
Yeah.
fighter, because he was so damn consistent. Go
Mhm.
from that to this with no real explanation. Yeah, I think he got lucky with the new difficulty in season 7. He got lucky to get a lot better, and then this new difficulty in season 8 has brought him back to reality.
yeah. I mean, I think early on y'all got helped out y'all are definitely helped out by Nail just picking up a lot of that slack.
Week one, he carried everything.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that.
How about we dig into that just a little bit more?
But
I mean, week two, Raditz did so poorly that 260K performances couldn't make up for it.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know what to say about Raditz. I mean, the rest of your team is doing pretty good. You're probably sitting in much the same boat as the Namekians are, where you just kind of need to get back, find which character is going to be your monster, and just get back in the groove of things.
Well,
That's Bardock.
Yeah.
Bardock's been
Yeah.
kicking a lot of butt.
He's been ultra. I don't think he's had a week under 40K.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll be the first to say I haven't paid the closest attention to your matches, but I think
Blame you.
Bardock is, Bardock's always been
I mean,
good.
They did well. If Blaze
yeah.
didn't tag so much, they probably would have won the last match.
Yeah, his two lowest stats in this season have been 45 and 46K.
Wow.
He's been unbelievably consistent for us.
Mhm.
I hear you there.
I wish he would throw out a couple more ults, but besides that,
Nah, he stops one and it never even hit. Here's the thing. To me, it feels like there's a bit of luck of the draw recently because we've had two very close matches that we've lost in recent.
Hmm.
so you could have just as easily been 4-3 right now.
Yes, but the matter of fact is we're not, and I want to know why.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead.
I can't say anything right. I can't say anything right now.
Yeah.
I think that removing Raditz and how King Vegeta did week one, it's a little bit too early to say what, maybe this week and next week will be enough to get information. But with Raditz out and with King Vegeta, at least his first performance doing well, I think that you guys can bounce back. I think that if everybody can, get close to their 40K and Bardock goes above and beyond there, you'll start racking up the W's.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to be in the same position. I think you did the right thing. I think you clearly did the right thing by taking out Raditz and bringing in King Vegeta.
I think everyone would question our mental state if we didn't.
Probably.
I just,
I think
Yeah.
that with a little bit of polishing, you might. I think you did the right thing last week in starting to polish up Scouter Vegeta, trying to get him
I'm a
working
melee
again.
build-ish. Yeah, he's not going to melee build now.
I mean, he kind of had a bad week last week.
Yeah.
Just
Sorry, for the melee build thing, because I know some people could be like, but it's Scouter Vegeta, and he's built up a reputation of being spam and no melee really. He's tossed out 10 B2s total, which is not a lot, and only hit with 4.
yep.
He has not been good with his. He's decent with his Gallic guns. Has not been good with B2s in general.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think this past week was just bad luck in matchup, and I think that after this week he'll probably be fine. And then Turles, I mean, he's always been your weak link. I don't see that changing, but I mean, it seems like he's at least averaging close to 40K. So
yeah, I think our slight tweaks have made him better, but we need like a couple more weeks to fully
yeah,
see.
It just sucks that you had to change Nail because he has to fit the role of everybody else.
It was either give Nail the attack +1, which honestly is probably, in my opinion, is a better fit. But
Yeah, I don't think that's a better fit over Scouter.
But Scouter is gonna take better advantage of it because Nail, at the very least, is also our best spammer as well as being good as melee.
No, he has good
Yeah.
B2s.
Yeah. No, like I don't even know how he hits most of these because he tosses out the energy wave a lot, and that's not like a
He
particular.
just times it well, just nice
Yeah.
jump back or right in their face. And of course,
Mhm.
Super Explosive Wave's like the best B2. So
Yeah. So it's good for us, and it's working out.
yeah. Before I judge and determine whether your team can be out or in, I want to see this week. You have no Nail, who's arguably your best player, and I just want to see how everybody works. And King Vegeta second week.
I'll say it's gonna be a hard stream to watch because everyone's gonna be rooting against us because it's against the Guinea Force.
Yeah, they were the same thing with us.
Yeah.
Ready for Guinea Force, even though we were only one win ahead of them. It's like,
Yeah,
I
but if we
guess.
lose, oh, okay. It's like no mercy. All right. We should end this topic. We don't have a lot of time. How about we head straight into predictions? What do you guys say?
All right, I'm good.
Sure. I mean, I don't think there's much to say about the other two other than, holy crap, Cold. What are you feeding your team to tag this much?
More tags this week.
And we have a new inductee into the Hall of Epic Fails. That is Kid Goku, who did 850 damage.
He did
Yeah,
negative damage because
I
Garlic
think
had
there's a
band-aids.
yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a petition going around to get him on Team Derp's roster.
So there you go. There's your other topics for the week covered.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get on to match predictions for week 8. It'll go you, Bull, Mal, and myself, unless it's your team. Match 1, Drama Warriors versus Muscle.
I want Dragon Ball Warriors to win because Muscle's in my division, and I want to get a higher win record than him, so I'm not the bottom of the South guy. So I'm gonna say Dragon Ball Warriors.
All right, Mal.
Muscle. I mean, DB Warriors is in my division, so I want I want DB Warriors to lose.
What kind of logic is that?
So I'm gonna be the only person who's not biased in this.
Maybe.
Just a little bit, I see. I'll actually give it to Dragon Ball Warriors if did they get their builds in? They got their builds in this week, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because last week was a catastrophe for them. So I'm gonna give it to them because Muscles had some issues with Sin, and I believe he's still in this week.
Oh my God, they changed around builds again. Now I'm on a B2 build. Never mind, Muscles.
Yeah, and I'm gonna, I am gonna point out that Kid Goku is benched this week.
Okay.
B2
you know what?
Nam?
I don't know what to think of B2 Nam. Whatever. Coin flip. On to match 2. Namek versus Vals.
So, just so everyone's aware, Namek is benching Baby Vegeta, and
Vals are benching O'Reilly.
Yep.
Next, Mitch struggling lately. Baby's one of the best people. I'm gonna have to say Vals. They're just the stronger team right now.
Malachi?
Namek because I hate the Vals. Just got to go against my eternal rivals. More realistically, Vals are likely to win. I just want to see Namek's win. So.
I'll give it to Namek. I think they can pull it off without her Norayli there. She's always like that total trump card. So
Yep.
I'm giving them the chance. Also, Vals might be in my division. Androids versus Majins. Mal's going last.
Yep.
All right. You benched 16 and they benched Deborah. Quickly going over the matchups in my head.
Quickly.
I'm gonna give it to Androids.
Okay. I will give it to. I don't know. You guys are kind of evenly matched.
It's
Yeah,
close.
I'll just give it to Majins to be contrarian.
And in my clearly unbiased opinion, I'm gonna say androids are gonna win.
Very unbiased. Match 4, Derp vs. Cold.
Derp has out Kibito, and
Mhm.
Cold has out King Cold. I'm gonna give the Cold. Their tag game is too strong.
Yeah, Mal.
I'm gonna give it to Derp. While Cold's tag game is good, Derp I think is one of the teams that's like right behind them, maybe. Well, right behind them meaning that they have 10 tags instead of Cold's 17. And on the whole, I just think Derp is better. Not to mention that Cold's in my division, and I just want them to lose and fail.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. I will give it to the tagging team. This is probably going to be Cold if they do another 4-man tag. As much as I hate that.
I want that magic horseshoe, Harume.
I just put Yajirobe on every single one of your characters.
I can't.
Yeah. 80 versus Gohan's match 5.
I know Edie just took a loss, but Gohan, Edie's gonna have both their best members in with Goku and Vegeta, and Gohan sat out one of the best members or potential best members with Team Gohan as another set. I'm gonna have to give it to Edie.
I have to as well. Just setting aside my divisional rivalry, I just think the benching for this just so heavily favors ED. I mean, Gogeta still looks like garbage. I mean, listen, even setting aside divisional stuff, I have to give it to ED.
Okay. There's my, I give it to ED also. Like when their one loss requires the other team to go elite, they still seem kind of invincible to me.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Still monsters.
Yeah, Boos versus Rugrats. Yubel goes last. Now,
to be fair, I can see it going either way. A lot's gonna depend on Gotenks.
Yeah, they played another Gotenks card.
And I just feel like that at some point that's gonna bite them, and so I'm gonna give it to Booze.
so I'm gonna give it to Boos also, but I'm gonna give you a little reason that's not biased. Gotenks hasn't, in my opinion, and based on the stats, he hasn't been worth his weight. Every time he comes out, he takes more damage than he dishes every time.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did 45k or something last week, and he took a lot more than that. So while Kid Trunks is pulling their weight and Rugrats look strong, I don't think Gotenks is like gonna push it far enough.
Right.
And I'm not sure if Goten's a better option for them, but yeah, it's a little too close.
Yeah.
How dare you? I'm going to be contrary, and I'm going to say Booze because
Unexpected.
I don't know. This kind of looks like my team has come together. Hopefully, Kid Buu can give us a similar performance. Oob has been really good. Gohan Boo's been looking pretty good, and Nova is looking good. Iwabu, we haven't seen Iwabu in weeks because he was out. Then he never showed. Then he never came in against Ginyu, and he's out again this week. So I miss Iwabu.
All right. Match 7, Blades and Afterlife. It's a divisional.
This is a toss-up because Afterlife is nice that they're anchoring that Vegeta and that Pycon so they could easily clean up a lot. But for the love of Christ, why would you start your worst player of Sandman against Jane, who you know the Blades are always going to start Jane?
Jane always
so dumb.
starts. He's only not started once, and he was benched that week.
Exactly. Like,
Yep.
So I can easily see Jane just taking out Sandman, taking out Zarbon, working on Vegeta, going elite, and then I'm not sure if freaking Vegeta and Pycon can carry, that much of a deficit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be close. But just because of that mistake, I'm going to have to give it to Blades.
Yeah, Mal.
Let me look at. I think I gotta give it to. I'm gonna have to say the same thing. I mean, I like that they have that very heavy anchor of Vegeta and Pycon. The problem is they're giving the Blades a lot, and the other thing is the Blades also have two of their best two characters I can easily see countering Vegeta and Pycon with Sword Trunks and Tapion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not pushovers, and I think that by giving them, I mean, I understand having Sandman in if it means who'd they bench? Chaozu. I mean, I can understand why they bench Chaozu against a team like this, because Spamion is not going to give him time to heal on that tank build. But I mean, I just can't get over Sandman starting against Jane.
I can't get over his build. I don't like his build.
Sandman's?
Yeah. He's not gonna be able to charge up.
I mean, he's got. I mean, to be fair, he has that launches to counter the -1. But I agree with you. He should have had fighting spirit with that dragon power, or they should have bought him a key +1 boost.
He should have. Yeah. He should have either had a boost or he should have had super +1.
That's fair.
Instead of super +2, because Janemba's going to be in his face the entire time.
Yep.
And Jane has a good charge rate too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So I'm giving it to Blades.
All right.
Saiyans versus Ginyu.
I don't want to get kicked off the cast. Really?
Do it.
All right, do it. Say it.
Do it.
The issue is that intro, that Captain Ginyu versus Turles. I could see that swinging in the wrong direction and it all falling down from there.
Turles. Oh, cool. We started.
They shout out Raccoon, so they don't have to worry about the grab. And Raccoon did not do too hot, so last week, so they have arguably one of their strongest teams while you're still kind of experimenting. But I like Sans better than my second favorite team. Someone say Sans.
Okay, Malachi.
I think looking at your team on the whole, I think it's a stronger team. You know, Go Tanks Book.
Rugrats.
Oh, what was that?
You guys said the same thing when we were about to face Rugrats.
Yeah. That being said, I do think that Go Tanks Book is probably better than most of your. He has the potential to take care of your team at the very end. Like I can see him doing well against Scouter and King, so I'm really not sure how this is gonna go.
Just make a decision.
I think it's just to be contrarian. I'm gonna say Ginyu.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna say my team because I think everyone's gonna pull their weight if Scouter doesn't not show up again, and I think we have a stronger base lineup. So there we go. That's the end of this. We'll see you guys next week. If you have comments, want to bitch at us, want to complain, in the comments, there's a thread. You can ask questions. You can do all that stuff. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Later.
Bye.